Hello everybody. So this is our first lecture. Our subject name is discrete structure and graph theory. Okay, so though this is our first lecture, I am not going to start with actual syllabus from this session onwards. Okay, so in this session we will just discuss the detailed overview of our subject. Okay, so let us begin with the introduction of the syllabus with this subject. So as far as marking scheme, rather teaching scheme of this subject is concerning, here you can find that at second position our subject is mentioned, that is discrete structure and graph theory. Its course code is CSC 302. Okay, so per week 3 lectures are assigned for this subject. As far as practicals are concerning, there is no practical for this subject. Okay, so we will just interact through only theory session. Okay, so as far as examination scheme is concerning, here see examination scheme for subject code CSC 302 discrete structure and graph theory. See, 2 internal tests will be conducted and average of both tests will be taken. That will be treated as your internal marks in final examination. Along with that, you have to give 80 marks theory paper for this subject. So overall weightage of this subject is 100 marks. Okay, there is no term work for this subject. So as I said earlier, there are no practicals, no term work. Okay, so there will be only internal exam and you have to give final theory paper of 80 marks. Okay, so as far as teaching hours and credits are concerning, as I said earlier, per week 3 lectures we have to conduct. Okay, so this is all about teaching and examination scheme. So as far as a detailed syllabus of this subject is concerning, see here detailed syllabus is mentioned. So CSC 302 subject name discrete structure and graph theory. Okay, so as far as credits are concerning, 3 credits are given for this subject. So prerequisite for this particular subject is basic mathematics. Okay, so prerequisite means if you want to understand different concepts from this subject, then your basic concepts of mathematics should be very clear. Okay, so as far as course objectives are concerning, they have mentioned some objectives like it cultivate the clear thinking and creative problem solving, then thoroughly train in the construction and understanding of mathematical proofs, exercise common mathematical arguments and proof strategies. Also they have mentioned objective as to apply graph theory in solving practical problems and thoroughly prepare for the mathematical aspect of other computer engineering courses. Okay, so as far as outcomes are concerning, outcomes means what you will be able to do after learning all the concepts from this subject. Okay, so they have mentioned few outcomes as well. So first outcome that they have mentioned is understand the notion of mathematical thinking, mathematical proofs, and to apply them in problem solving. Then second outcome is ability to reason logically. Next one is ability to understand relations, functions, digraph and lattice. Next they have mentioned as ability to understand and apply concepts of graph theory in solving real world problems. Next one, understand use of groups and codes in encoding and decoding. Then analyze a complex computing problem and apply principles of discrete mathematics to identify solutions. Okay, so they have mentioned these outcomes. So as far as detailed syllabus is concerning, see, throughout the syllabus of this particular subject we have to cover total 6 modules. Okay, they have mentioned here So first module is logic, then next one is relation and function, next posset and lattice, next one is counting, then algebraic structure, and finally graph theory. Okay, so if you go through these modules in detail, then as far as first two modules are concerning, that is logic, and second module is relation and function, the basic concepts that they have mentioned in these two modules you have already studied. Okay, somewhere in your 11th or 12th, or though some basic concepts are also covered in 9th and 10th as well. Okay, for example, if we go through the detailed points that they have mentioned in logic chapter, see, first point is mentioned is propositional logic, then predicate logic, laws of logic, quantifiers, normal forms, and so on. Okay, so basically in this particular module we have to just study different laws. Okay, I hope you as I said earlier, some points from these modules you have already studied. Okay, somewhere in your 11th or 12th. So some laws you might be aware with, like associative law. Okay, De Morgan's law. So such types of laws we have to study in detail in this first chapter. Also some points that they have mentioned in second chapter, like if you go through the details of the points that they have mentioned in the second chapter, that is in second module, first point is basic concept of set, then we have to discuss point like relation, then types of relation, then closure relation, then one algorithm also we have to study, that is Warshall algorithm, then equivalence relation, and so on. Okay, so basically in second chapter we have to just study what is set. Okay, then different types of set and how we can use this concept of set to enhance our logical ability. Okay, so one more point I just want to discuss here is, see, here there is a dependency. Dependency means what? So if you want to understand, let us say if you want to understand the concept from third module, here third module mention is what? That is posset and lattice. So if you want to understand concepts which are mentioned in the third module, then your basic concepts from module number 1, that is logic, and module number 2, that is relation and function, must be very clear. Okay, so unless and until you are not comfortable with the concepts mentioned in first two chapter, you will not be able to understand the concepts which are mentioned in chapter number 3, that is posset and lattice. So same case is there for next module as well. If you want to understand concept from counting chapter, then your concepts from chapter number 1 logic, then chapter number 2 relation and function, and chapter number 3 posset and lattice must be very clear. Okay, so this is what is called as dependency. So if you want to understand further concept, then your previous concept must be very clear. Okay, so this is all about the chapters that we have to discuss throughout the syllabus of this particular subject. Okay, so as far as textbook are concerning, they have mentioned some textbook like first textbook mentioned, that is Discrete Mathematical Structure by Pearson Education. Okay, so I can recommend this book only for understanding the concepts from this particular chapter. As far as second book and third book which is mentioned, that is second book is Element of Discrete Mathematics by CLU, and third one is Discrete Mathematics and Application by Tata McGraw-Hill. These two books, textbook number 2 and 3, for some concepts only, that is for some points mentioned in chapter number 5 and chapter number 6, for those points only we will use textbook mention at number 2 position as well as at number 3 position. Okay, otherwise for all other concept I will recommend you to use first textbook which is mentioned here, that is Discrete Mathematical Structure by Pearson Education. Okay, so as far as assessment is concerning, as I said earlier, we have to conduct 2 internal tests, 20 marks each, and finally average will be taken. I hope that the regular student are already aware with this particular scheme. Okay, so 80 marks theory paper and 20 marks for internal exam. So overall weightage of this particular subject will be 100 marks. Okay, so in short what I can say is, see, in simple word, if you want to understand why this subject will be helpful and what will be what you will be able to do after learning all the concept from this particular subject is, see, in simple word what I can say is, to enhance your logical ability, the concepts that they have mentioned in this subject will be useful. Okay, and as we all know, as a computer engineer, your logic must be very very strong. Okay, so I hope you all are quite familiar with the term program. Okay, because those who are regular student, they have already studied one programming language in semester 2, that is C, and direct second year student, they are already familiar with few programming languages like C, C++, Java, C# and so on. Okay, so basic question here is that what exactly program is. So program means, I hope that you all know definition of program. Okay, so program means it is a set of instruction given to the computer so that computer can perform a desired task. What I said, what is program? Program is a set of instruction given to the computer so that computer can perform a desired task. And as we all know, for writing program, our logic must be very very clear.